Hello everybody, I'm creating this video to share the basics of Google Classroom. In subsequent videos, I will be sharing a bit more advanced stuff about the Classroom. So if you are very new to Classroom or you're new to the school, you have not touched Google Classroom before, this video is for you. But even if you're experienced, there are new features in Google Classroom that we can actually embark on. And I've highlighted the features in yellow in this screen here. Okay, so today we are learning to create a Google Classroom. Number two, we are learning to edit important settings, especially a few days ago, Google integrated their Meet and Classroom together. So you can actually open a new Meet that's only dedicated to your classroom students. So I thought that's pretty useful. Third, we are learning to invite co-teachers and students into the classroom. We are learning to post an announcement with various options, toggle to other classrooms very easily from the main screen, and on the overall classroom page, how we can order our classrooms for easy access. So let's get down to it. So this is the main classroom page. So if you just go to classroom.google.com, you'll be able to see all of your classrooms in this main page. So the first step we want to learn is how to create a classroom. You do this by pressing the plus button here, and you press create class. Now let's say I'm creating a class, Google Classroom Basics. Okay, I'll just create this, and I can even put in more details, maybe for ACS Barker, and the subject is ICT. And sometimes if you want to let your students know which physical classroom is in, you can just put maybe humanities staff room. Okay, then you can just create. Once the classroom is created, there are important things that you can edit in the settings of the classroom. But some of you will be asking, I thought all the classes have been created at the start of the year. Why do I need to learn how to create a class? Well, this might be useful for certain things you want to do, like if you want to create DI or you want to create a specific AC classroom for your students. So you can create multiple classrooms to cater to different students instead of the entire class. So on this main classroom page, you can see that there are a few things here. The top, of course, is the title, the Google Classroom Basics, and you'll see importantly that there's a class code here. Okay, so this class code, if you press this button over here, you'll display the class code on the screen. Now, why is this important? Because at the start of the year, when you have new students who have not joined the classroom, you want to display this on the screen so that they can join in the class using this class code. Okay. Besides that, on the screen, you'll see that there's a mini stream on the left saying with upcoming. If you assign your assignments here, which I'll do in a subsequent video, you can see with one view all of the assignments that are due, and the students will be able to track what they are supposed to do for their work as well. Now let's move on to settings. Importantly, before you start using a classroom, you should always edit the settings. If you go to this gear icon on the top right, you click on it, you'll see that the title of the class is all here again, which is what we did when we started creating the classroom. You have the class code, but if you want to change the class code, you can always reset or copy it for your own use. Now, I think this is quite important for the stream, which is the list of announcements that you have later. You can edit the options here. You can either choose students can post and comment, students can only comment, or only teachers can post or comment. Now, knowing the maturity of our boys, sometimes it's not useful for them to post or comment anything on the stream. So I leave it to you to decide what setting is the most appropriate for your students. But usually I just like to choose only teachers can post or comment. The next option is whether classwork or the assignments on the stream are condensed or in full. Actually, I like to show it in full because students can easily view it the moment they go into the classroom page. So depending on your preference, you can either show attachments and details immediately, show condensed notifications, or totally hide notifications on the mainstream. I think the third option is the least attractive because there's no real need to hide the work notifications. Okay. Now, importantly, this is a new feature that Google just released a few days ago in April. you can now generate a Meet link for this entire classroom, which means that students on this Google Classroom can easily access the Meet link from this classroom page. So if I generate it right now, they will automatically create a link that's dedicated to this classroom only. And what you want to do is to make it visible to students so that they can join it when they enter the classroom page. Now, if you happen to have someone unwanted joining your classroom, you can always reset the Google Meet link from this settings page. Now, finally, the last setting that is new on Google is this grading function, but I'm not going to cover it during the basics of in this video now. Perhaps in another video if there are more questions about this grading function. So once you're done with this settings page, just save, and then the stream will be updated. So you realize that now there's a Google Meet link here that students can immediately click on and immediately join a new Google Meet. I think this is quite useful that Google added this a few days ago. So if I just close this again, I'm back to the stream. And what I want to do next is, of course, to have people inside my classroom. So at the top, you will go into this People tab. And there are two options here. You can either add teachers or you can add students. So the easy button to spot is just this icon where there's a person and a plus. You just press this button and invite any teachers. So for example, if I want to add my co-form into this into this classroom, I'll just type her name and then it should show up in the search results. This is as long as your teachers are in your contact list. They automatically are already. However, for students, they are not automatically in our contacts. You have to add them to your contact book, just like how our IB department has already shown us how to. Okay, but the most tedious option is to type out their names one by one and actually get them send out the Google invite via email to them. So, for example, if I know my form class, I can type out their names. Then I'll select them and the system will invite them one by one. But this is a very tedious process, especially during the start of the year. So rather than that, the easier option is to actually go physically into the classroom and then show the class code to the students. Once you have this class code, right, you will actually be, let me just show you how you show the class code. So imagine you're projecting this on the screen in the classroom now. You go to stream, once again, you click this button display, and then you ask the students to type in this class code when they join the classroom. They should already know how to join the classroom. Now I want to show how we can actually have other functions when we have students in the class. So let me just go into another classroom. For example, if I go to my 4H1, H2, and if I go to people, you realize that when I have a list of students here, I can do a few things. I can actually select all of them, and I find that one of the things I do often is to email all of them. So if I don't have a class contact group already available on my Gmail, I can select all of these students in this class here and email all of them. This is a convenient way to access all of their emails. Now the next thing is if you realize that one of the students is actually not from your class but actually managed to sneak in, you can of course remove this student. So you check the box here, you can choose a drop down and you remove the student. The last option is to mute the student. Now this is if in your overall classroom settings you allow them to post and comment on the stream. If one particular student is actually being very havoc in your stream, you can actually just mute this particular student and let the more productive ones contribute to the discussion. Now, if we go back to the screen right now, the main stream, so you'll see that the Google Meet link is here. I already mentioned. The next main learning point you want to do is to make an announcement. So very easily, Google has made very easy to post announcement here. Just click somewhere on this box, share something in your class, and let me introduce you to the different options you have. The first thing you want to know is that you can make announcements to multiple classes. So if I press this drop down box here, I can choose as many classes as I want, and the announcement I'm typing now will be duplicated to all of the classes that I choose. That's one option. The next option is that if I want to choose to only allow some students to see an announcement, I can uncheck this. Oops, sorry, this is a. Let me just go to another classroom here. Okay, so if I go to my own classroom and I go to my stream, if I post an announcement and I only want a few students in my class to see the announcement, I can drop down this box and I can choose which students in particular I want to view my announcement. This is quite useful because again, you might be considering DI, or you might be sending an announcement for AC to only some students. The rest will not receive this notification and it will be kept secret. So the next thing you want to do is just type in announcement. Let's say this is an announcement. Perhaps whatever you want to type in, it's according to your preference. And then the important function here is to add certain things in your announcement. So you can add either a file from your Google Drive, any document, sheet, or slide. You can add a link to another page. You can add a file from your own computer, or you can embed a YouTube link within the classroom so that they can watch it without having to open a new tab. Now, lastly, you can actually, you would naturally want to post the announcement immediately, but for some classes, you want to delay the posting of the announcement so that you only appear when you walk into the classroom. So this function is pretty useful. You can schedule a post for another day. So you open schedule, you can choose the day and the date, the timing even that you want the announcement to be pushed to the students. So in the middle of the class, if you schedule a few different posts, you can stagger your learning, you can chunk it, and the students will be able to won't be able to rush into the work without your clear instructions. The last thing you can do is to save a draft so that in case you are in a rush, you have typed out a partial announcement already, you want to save it, it's easily doable by saving a draft here. Now, to end off my video, I want to show easily, I've already shown you actually, but I want to show you how you can jump easily with other classes. Just click on these three lines here, and then just scroll down to all your different classes, and you can toggle between them very, very easily. So if I want to go to my other class, I can, the original class that I created, I can actually just click on the classroom here, and then after that I'll be in another classroom almost instantly. Now the last thing is for you to go back to the original classroom page. You click the three lines again, just go to these classes, and sometimes you want certain classes to appear at the top so that you don't have to scroll down all the way and select them. So what you can do is actually you can click on one classroom, hold on and drag to any part of the page that you want. So I felt that this is very useful because certain classes I don't really use. I can just put them all the way at the bottom. And there you have it. These are the basics to creating a classroom and posting an announcement. If you have any questions, let me know. In the next video, I'll show how we actually post assignments on this classroom. And there are a lot of new features as well. So let me know if you want to see certain features being covered in the next video or subsequent videos. Okay, thank you.